Alex and Stephanie's siege of frustration finally erupts as Leo makes a desperate plea to the returned Javi. In what insiders are already calling the emotional earthquake of the year, the long-simmering tensions between Alex and Stephanie have finally detonated, leaving their inner circle shaken and the future of their partnership hanging by a thread. For weeks, close observers noted the subtle but unmistakable signs of decay: shorter conversations, forced smiles at group gatherings, and the kind of strategic silence that speaks louder than any shouted insult. But late Tuesday evening, the dam broke. According to a source who witnessed the confrontation firsthand, what began as a mundane discussion about scheduling quickly spiraled into a raw, unfiltered exchange of every resentment either had been quietly stockpiling for months. Stephanie, her voice trembling at first but rapidly gaining volcanic heat, accused Alex of emotional withdrawal, of being physically present but mentally absent, treating her less like a partner and more like a piece of office furniture. Alex, never one to absorb fire without returning it in full, fired back that Stephanie had been making unilateral decisions about shared goals, from financial commitments to public appearances, all while preaching the gospel of, "we're a team." The argument escalated from logistical gripes to ancient history, old betrayals, broken promises, and the kind of wounds that only people who have truly loved each other know how to reopen. Voices climbed walls. A glass was set down hard enough to make the room freeze. And when it was over, neither apologized. They simply retreated to opposite ends of the house, a physical distance that felt, to everyone present, like a new permanent map of their relationship. But even as the dust began to settle on that particular battlefield, a separate and potentially more volatile development was already in motion. Javi, the walking question mark, the prodigal wildcard who abruptly exited the circle 6 months ago under what was diplomatically called creative differences, but privately labeled as a betrayal by some and a necessary escape by others, has returned. His reappearance was first noted late Wednesday morning at a quiet coffee shop on the east side, alone, calm, and wearing the quiet confidence of someone who knew he would be back long before anyone else believed it. No official statement has been released by Javi's camp, and his social media remains dark except for a single, cryptic post, an hourglass emoji and nothing more. Yet his presence alone has scrambled every existing alliance. Some see him as a potential mediator, the one person who could speak truth to both Alex's pride and Stephanie's pain without getting burned. Others, most notably Stephanie, historically, see him as a catalyst for chaos, a reminder of a chapter the group worked very hard to close. Either way, Javi's timing is impossible to ignore. He did not return to spectate. He returned because he heard the cracks from miles away, and because he knows that fractures like these do not heal with time. They heal, if at all, with intervention. Enter Leo. If Alex and Stephanie are the storm, Leo has always been the weatherproof umbrella, everyone's confidant, no one's enemy, the man who believes that every problem has a solution if you just keep talking long enough. But neutrality is a luxury that just expired. According to a second source with direct knowledge of the situation, at 11:47 p.m. on the night of the Alex-Stephanie blowout, mere hours before Javi's return became public, Leo sent a message to a phone number he had not dialed in over half a year. The text read simply, "You picked a hell of a time to come back. Call me. We need to talk. Please." Within 4 minutes, Javi responded, "Already heard. Tomorrow. Noon." The usual spot. Leo did not inform Alex. He did not inform Stephanie. He acted alone. A move that, depending on your interpretation, is either the bravest peacemaking attempt of the year or a spectacular betrayal of both. When reached for comment, Leo's representative offered only a carefully worded statement. Leo believes in dialogue above all else. He is not choosing sides. He is choosing a solution. But choosing a solution, in this fractured landscape, is itself a choice. And by reaching out to Javi, the one person who owes none of these people a happy ending, Leo has effectively torn up his neutrality card and thrown it into the wind. What happens next is anyone's guess. The private meeting between Leo and Javi is scheduled for noon at an undisclosed location, though sources speculate it will be the old diner where the original crew used to debrief after disasters. Alex and Stephanie remain in separate quarters, with no joint appearances planned for the next 72 hours. A mutual friend has attempted to broker a neutral zone conversation, but both parties have refused unless the other apologizes first, and neither shows any sign of blinking. The central question has shifted from, "Can they fix this?" to a far more dangerous one: who will Javi choose to stand with? Because Javi is not a passive observer, he knows secrets. He has loyalties, old ones, tangled ones, frayed by time but not severed. And he has every reason to walk into that diner and burn everything down, or to build something entirely new from the ashes. Leo is gambling that Javi will choose the latter. But gambling, as Leo should know better than anyone, is what you do when you have run out of safe options. One thing is certain. The silence between Alex and Stephanie is louder than any fight. And somewhere across town, Javi just smiled at his phone. Buckle up. This story is just getting started.